Good morning. This is Bob Passy again on Democracy Rising. I thought it was time to talk again about what has been going on. We find that really Democracy Rising in the United States is not going to exactly happen in this election, or at least not within the framework that they have given us. We saw that the Democratic Party, for no reason that I can understand other than just wanting to have power, the National Party, and impose its will on party members, and as a matter of fact, a lot of independents as well. Sort of were ruthless and relentless in their manipulation of the whole process, certainly with Hillary Clinton's agreement to make sure that she was the only possible option for the Democratic Party, in spite of the fact that huge groups of people, I would guess the majority of the people who wanted to vote for a Democratic candidate supported Bernie Sanders. So they in effect won the Hillary Clinton people, but it was sort of a Pyrrhic victory. In other words, a victory that did as much destruction as it did in a positive way. And we'll have to wait to see how that plays out. But I would say that it was a defeat for the forces that wanted to preserve and to support the human spirit. One of the things about oligarchy, which is the rule by the rich and powerful, a small elite group that have power, and that's what we have in this country now, is that it dehumanizes people. The ordinary people are not of a great concern. So the dehumanizing of us and basically monetizing of almost everything that's done in this country is taking an incredible toll. And as far as I know, democracy is the only antidote to that. And in democracy, people are valued for being people, not just because of the money they have or the economic value they might represent to someone else. And the same is true of the environment. But we have a situation now where the only options we have now are Hillary Clinton representing a kind of moderate oligarchy, but the oligarchy, the same as Obama did. And I would just say that, everybody talks about how wonderful Obama was, but you have to remember that, there was this great opportunity with the financial collapse of 2008 to remedy all kinds of things. And the only remedy we got was making those people who caused it much richer. Almost, what was it, 85% of everything that came out of that recovery went to the top 1%. It's just, we have missed an opportunity to repair some of the damage that was done by the oligarchy. And unfortunately, what we have done and what Obama did was allow the oligarchy to retain its power and to become greater in its power, to consolidate its power and to move out from there. One of the things I would say is that we have to remember, we talk about the government being not working for us, and it's true. It is dysfunctional for us, but it is absolutely functional for the oligarchy. The government, by not working, means that it doesn't do anything for the ordinary citizens. But while it is not working, the economic powers, the oligarchy, have expanded their power tremendously and are in the process of chipping away at what's left of democracy. In others, they've convinced, they now show us that we can't depend on government as citizens. And government has become no longer a place where your taxes go to support democracy or the citizenry, but they go to support things like war and oil companies. And in other words, it becomes a pipeline not using the resources of the people through taxes to make the society better, but a pipeline to take the resources of the people and serve the ends of the oligarchy. In other words, to transfer your wealth into their pockets. And that's what war does. That's what the security systems, security society is doing. All of those things, they increase their power and their control, and basically say they are acting in your name on your dime. And that's what's going on. There are two visions, maybe two and a half visions in this upcoming election. One of them was Bernie Sanders, which was the Democratic vision of including all people again in this society, as it was, for instance, in the New Deal. And has been disappearing more rapidly lately, but all the way after that, from Truman on, been chipped away at. But the other one is oligarchy. Now, when you vote, whether you know it or not, for a vision for the country for the next 4 years. And the oligarchic vision for the country is to consolidate its power and expand its power, and to be sure that nobody like a Bernie Sanders ever happens again. So when you say, well, we didn't do it this time, but next time we'll do it, I have absolutely no faith in that. I've been watching politics for a long time, and if you think that somehow they're going to relinquish their power, they didn't relinquish their power in 2008. Why in the world are they going to relinquish it now? And are they going to start caring for us? Why would they? Why would they? They'll bleed us dry. And then they'll move on. So the oligarchy, and so if the oligarchy in the form of Hillary Clinton gets elected, that's going to be more of the Obama kind of oligarchic rule, which looks nice on the surface, but if you look at the trends and you look what happens after 8 years, you're going, what? My goodness, we're way worse off than we were before. Yes, there was a recovery, but it was only a recovery for the rich. We are in much worse shape. So it'll be that. It's sort of like the frog in the water, the story about, if you put a frog in boiling water, it'll probably jump out. If you put the frog in the water and you slowly turn up the heat, it won't realize there are any changes until it starts boiling and it dies. So that's kind of the moderate oligarchy that we are living in, that they put a smiley face on it and have reassuring rhetoric, but we're being had. We are simply, our goose is being cooked, to mix my metaphors, and we are supporting their vision. Their vision does not include us. And they want people to know that government is not going to be there for the people, to lose confidence in the government. Which all that does is turn it all over to the powerful forces of the oligarchy. So, while we're distracted with all the political theater, they are simply moving on and getting more powerful. The other vision in this election is a vision of oligarchy with the gloves off. And that's using the power of the oligarchy, the military, and all the governmental forces and the economic forces to dominate the world and to make sure people fall in line. Well, we do that even with the other. I mean, Obama basically has been horrible with whistleblowers. It doesn't matter what they expose, and that is true. It only is that they let out secrets and let us know what was being done in our name and on our dime. So the oligarchy, although Trump would not be their first choice, they can live fine with that. He's not attacking the oligarchy. He's just making it clear what they really are like under the surface. But they can live with the Trump. The other thing that will happen if Trump is elected is that the populace will rapidly see what's going on and they'll become unified. Under Hillary, we're going to have a split Democratic Party again, part of them saying, what in the world is going on? And the other part saying, but she's a Democratic president and we have to support her, and she's a woman. I'm not sure what the relevance of that is, but the Democratic Party stays split until you have no opposition that makes any big difference. Anyway, it's time to think about all these things and to think about what does this mean in this election? Is there a way, if you don't want either of those candidates' visions to be the face of you for the rest of the world, then you have to decide. I mean, maybe you don't vote for a president at all, but please vote for the enter ticket. There are a lot of good people out there, and don't make them pay the price for the idiocy of the national parties. Anyway, it's just some things to think about. We'll talk again later. Bye now.